एवरीवन, हेलो हेलो, सभी को नमस्ते मेरी तरफ से। आज हमने ये मुझे पता है 12 बजे से आईपीएल स्टार्ट होना है, मतलब नॉर्वेजियन टाइम से, तो इसलिए मैंने 11 बजे रखा था। तो जी, व्हाट्स डे लाइट सेविंग टाइम इफ यू कैन एक्सप्लेन। तो जी, डे लाइट सेविंग टाइम एक्चुअली क्या होता है, आपको पता है कि विंटर्स और समर्स में नॉर्वे इट्स वेरी डिफरेंट, राइट? ड्यूरिंग द समर्स द डेज आर लॉन्ग एंड नाइट्स आर शॉर्ट. On the other hand, on the winters, it's opposite. So that's why in the winters, what they will do is generally the time difference between India and Norway is 4.5 hours. So, but during the summers, what they do is they actually shift the time 1 hour before, because you know that the days are long and the nights are short. So that is the daylight saving, and this is happening in whole of the Europe. So, and that is it's basically so that the people around they adjust themselves with the timings that are changing because of the light conditions. But I think 3 years ago there was this what do you say, kind of an article which stated that the entire Europe will curtail down this daylight saving, but that did not happen. So it is still happening. So, for example, now in Norway, time is 11. On the other hand, if it would have been winters, right now the time would have been 10, right? 10 a.m. and 11. So that's that 1 hour of difference. That is the daylight saving. Hi to everyone. Love from India. Thank you, Ji. Is a good bachelor CGPA required for a PhD in Norway? No, I don't think so. It is required. Good as in you should have a first class, which means if you have above 60%, that is good. But what is required is a good master's CGPA, right? So it's always, suppose if you want to do a PhD, then the preceding degree, which is your master's, you should have a good CGPA over there, a B grade. If you are applying for a master's, then you should have a good, then the preceding degree would be bachelor's. So it means that then you should have a good CGPA in the bachelor's. So directly it is not affected. Okay, ji, Rishabh ji. So it's like adding an hour to the clock. Yes, it's like that. It's like adding an hour to the clock. So during the summers you add, and then during the winters it goes back. And when is this happening? So I can explain that also. So it happens on the last. So the daylight saving they comes into the picture during the last Saturday of last Saturday of March, which means that if in March, when the time reaches, suppose it is a Saturday, and now we are transitioning from Saturday to Sunday. So the clock will reach at 2 a.m. Now it's actually Sunday morning 2 a.m. But then the clocks are shifted back 1 hour. So when you wake up Sunday morning, you are actually in the summers you are actually, suppose generally if you wake up at 7 in winters, then it would be already 8. And likewise in the winters it is happening in the last Saturday of October. Okay, hi, love from Dubai. Thank you, travel with Muskanji. I am working in Norway with skilled work permit. If I plan to study for master, will bioeducation be free? Yes, Chetan, it will be free. So if you are not, it is not just free for you, but for your wife also, who is if suppose you're married, sorry, I made this assumption that you're married. If you're married, then any dependent upon you, they also have a free education. So it will be completely free for you, right? Because you are now a resident of Norway. So, and also on your work permit, you are allowed to study as well. But I think I would give you a suggestion that you should check with your managers whether they allow that or not. So it is more of a company restriction, but it is free. That's good. Can you, Jayashri ji asks that, can you understand bachelor if you have cleared Norwegian B2 level exam? Yeah, I think, see, clearing an exam, for example, I would say I have cleared B1 exam, but my Norsk is a little bit, I would say, higher because I can communicate with people. So it depends upon how much hard work you give. But if you have, but generally, you should have a C1 level of proficiency, and that is actually the requirements in some of the bachelors which you have to study. So you should check clearly the requirements, the language requirements. They say C1 or equivalent, right? So with B2, I think so certain courses they might allow you, but As far as I know, you should have a proficiency and an exam clearance of C1 for the bachelor's, because entire, and it will, because when you're studying a bachelor's, so there are two things. One is that if you don't know Norwegian, then you'll be struggling with the language aspect, and then there is the content of the subject as well, right? So you will be, your mind or your brain, it needs to comprehend that also, so it will be too much of a load. So I would say the good strategy would be that firstly have a good proficiency, take maybe 1 year more of Norwegian. And we guys have collaboration with Lingo, which is one of the best providers. So we have a link on our website, so you get 15% discount. So they have very specific courses. For example, if you want to be a doctor in Norway, they have the entire package of the language that will give you all the jargons and everything, right? And that is a very smart strategy. For example, if you want to be an engineer or if you want to be a doctor, so there are few terminologies in Norwegian. For example, I would say that the force, right? Like in engineering, we have force, we have stress. So there would be some specific terminology for it in Norwegian. So the Lingo courses prepare you for that, and that is a very smart strategy. Rather than learning a very generic Norwegian language, why don't you study a very specific, which is targeted towards that particular course that you want to study? And Lingo has some of those courses, so please check that out, right? Okay, G. So people, very good questions, I would say, and I'm doing it like I think after 6-7 months. So please bear with me. And then the next question is from Rishabh Ji. My CGPA is 9.34. Okay, BE, Chitkara University. Considering yes, I already know. I'm planning to try for master's. Should I go for a job experience? See, Rishabh, I would say an ideal situation is that firstly, if your target is to settle in Norway, right, and to find a job in Norway, so then come with an experience of 3 to 4 years, because then while you're doing your masters, it's very high. Because I'm just based upon my experience, I had 5 years of experience, and I know a couple of students who have come to Norway now with a work experience, and they've paid the fees, right? Because now in Norway the education is not free, but the moment they came here, since they had experience of 3 to 5 years, they got the job, right? They are now working 40 to 45%, and that is sufficient enough to cover your tuition fee, etc. So the best situation is that be a little bit patient and plan and have an experience from India or from wherever you can in your particular field, and then apply for masters. And I'm going to make a video on this as well, that is it worth to do masters in Norway, since there is a huge tuition fee, right? So please watch that out. But yes, recommendation for you is this. Then Nikhil asks, hi, what is the language proficiency level required in Norwegian to get a PR in Norway? So Nikhil, as far as I know, I think previously it was A2, but now they have increased it up to B1. I'm not sure about it, because when I gave it was A2. So I need to check on the UDI website, and you can also check on the UDI website, which is UDI is this Direktoratet, we say in Norwegian, for immigration. So you can say on their website they have clearly mentioned what are the language requirements. But I think A2 or B1, that is, because for citizenship I'm for sure it is B1, and for PR I need to check, but somewhere between A2 and B1 it has to be. And this A2 and B1, it can happen in two ways. One is that either you can give a test, right? You can go to these Folket University and give the tests for languages A2 and B1. One is that way. Another is that you can accumulate hours, like depending upon whether you are a skilled worker permit or you are on a family immigration permit. There are different requirements. For example, if you are skilled worker, then you have to do this 250 to 300 hours of Norwegian language, and then you have to do a special social studies course of 50, and that is mandatory for all. But if you are on I would say a family immigration visa, then you have to, which is not a skilled worker permit, then this requirements go a little bit up. For the language, it is about 500 hours. So it is up to you. Generally, giving a test is much easier because that saves money. Because taking 550 hours is too long. Kind of, you have to invest in a lot, but then you learn also, right? So most of the people do, they have two agendas. One is like they will say that, okay, right now I don't want to learn language, I just want to get a PR, so they will just do these courses, right? Without learning. But that is not a very smart strategy, because I also did the same, I would say, kind of, but that doesn't help. The point is, if you're spending money, then just take it slow and learn the language, because it will really help for you to get a lot of opportunities in Norway. And language is must if you want to succeed up to a certain barrier. So that is the requirement, I would say. Okay, ji. Then Webhub, which country is good for job? Norway, Switzerland in banking sector. See, I think I'm not very well versed with the job market in Switzerland, but I would say in Norway it is good enough. But if you want to work in finance and if you have Norwegian, it's very wonderful. But one thing that I can say is the taxes in Switzerland are lower than Norway, because as you might have heard that a lot of big short people, like who earn like in millions and billions, they are actually leaving Norway and settling in Switzerland because of the low tax. But based upon my experience, I would say society in general is much better in Norway than in Switzerland. The people are very friendly, and I have been just a tourist in Switzerland, so my experience was not that great. But in Norway, people are really sweet. So that is the thing. And right now, if you're in India and if you're getting a job in either of these two nations, wonderful nations, you can just go in either one of them, right? But I have one guy who actually came from Switzerland, whom I know, who came from Switzerland back to Norway. And the reason he said was that the working culture in Switzerland was not as, I would say, balanced as it is in Norway, right? Norway, I would say, is one of the best countries for the work life balance. That is, I have to say that. But climatically, there are certain issues that you have to bear with. But yeah, so wherever you get the job, both nations are wonderful. Okay, ji. Then okay, Bharat. Hi, Arvind. Having research publication in masters ad and how is important for, yeah. So Bharat is definitely ads, right? Because it shows your, for example, if I have to hire a PhD and if there are two equally competent persons or students and one of them has a publication record, so I would definitely go in for the one who has a publication record, given everything else is same. And the reason is because at the end, the deliverable in your PhD is a paper, and if you know how a scientific writing is done, then that is kind of a proof that you know how to write, right? How do you conduct a research? So papers and publication, they really help. But make sure that you don't publish in like journals which are not considered well, where you just pay and they get it accepted. So having a paper in such a journal will be kind of a blemish on your career rather than giving you something good. So if you are publishing in a good conference also, right? For example, uh, if you are working in informatics and if you're working in ergonomics, or if you're working in civil engineering, and then there would be some specific conferences which are leading. So if you publish there also, that is also a very good kind of a proof that you know how to do research. Manu, hello sir. I plan to do my LLM from Norway. Can you please explain the procedure of admission in University of Oslo and also tell basic requirements? So Manu, I already have a video about this thing. You just need to search for it on our channel, because my sister-in-law, she did this LLM from Oslo, and now she's working in a very good sector over here, right? So the trick there was that she was enrolled in an international law, but then she learned Norwegian because University of Oslo offers you free courses. So that is a very, and she took advantage of it. She was like really working hard back then, and besides her international law, she also did some courses on the IT. Then she got a degree in IT law, and now she's working for one of the companies, I would say, and her role is majorly related to IT. So you can, this is the kind of flexibility that Norway, that most of the degrees in Norway provide you, that you are enrolled in one, but nobody stops you from taking these extra courses. So if you are working hard, and so that has worked for her. So there are a lot of what do you say, videos on our channel about LLM, that how you can go through. But the basic process is very simple. If you watch one video, what is the how to do masters in Norway, so it explains the basic process for you, right? But you can just watch these videos. I hope they will help you, because over there I have much more details than right now in my mind. Okay, then Willow, nice name. I'm in my final year of BTech Mechanical Engineering. I aspire to complete PhD in future in this field. Can you give some advice? Of course. I mean, people need researchers, because it is, at the end, it is researchers like those who are doing their PhD, who are propelling the world. So see, mechanical engineering, you would know that if you're doing a mechanical engineering in India, you are studying almost 40 to 45 courses. So you have to select a niche, and then based upon that niche, for example, if you like solid mechanics, you like thermodynamics, so choose a master's in that. I can tell you, like, masters in fluid mechanics. If you like fluid mechanics, that is very wonderful. Masters in mechatronics, masters in solid mechanics. So go in for that, depending upon what is your interest. Because the bachelor's is always very broad, and then comes the master's, and then is the PhD. So the PhD, it's very, very specific, right? And then that becomes your career. So that is my advice, that first of all, select a master's, which, whether it is in IITs, because in IITs, I know it's easier to get in IITs than to do a bachelor, right? It is easier to do a master's. You have to give gate. So whether it is, and I know a lot of people, my friends, my colleagues, who have pursued their masters in IITs and then they have moved abroad, because it's much, because if you don't want to spend a lot of money in masters in other countries, then doing it back home, sorry, is much, much valued. And then you can just move to do your PhD. So I think that is my recommendation. Choose an area where you have interest in, and then select a master's course. Okay. Then it is Prateek. Hi, I complete my MSc in maths from IIT Kharagpur. I'm looking job in Norway but getting rejected. They are looking from Europe or some who studied there. Any tips from your side? So Prateek, the best tip is try to find a PhD in Norway. Not just in Norway, in any of the European, because if you have a MSc in maths, it means that you have you can do PhD in mathematical modeling, you can do PhD in core maths, you can do PhD even in data science, you can do PhD in statistics, you can also do, so because mathematics is the fundamental. So try and find a PhD in a particular course, because it is much easier to find a PhD in Europe than to get a job, right? That's why, because uh, I would say that for the job requirement, most of the countries, they prefer to recruit students from their own country rather than from abroad, unless and until there is like you are expert in a field, right? So primarily, why you are getting rejected is because of this reason. So if you want to come to any of these European countries, just go in for PhD. And after PhD, you will see that getting a job in any of these nations, it's much, much easier, right? So that's my recommendation. Then is Rishabh. Thank you so much, sir. Also, you think Duolingo is a good start to learning Norse? I have a friend from Norway as well, but we are mostly connected through the chats, not calls. Yeah, I think Duolingo is good as well, but they will not. As I mentioned, they will have a very generic kind of courses. But if you want to learn like Norwegian from the Norwegians and those who follow it, because my wife also learned from Lingu, I did social studies. So then I think Lingu and the others, you can try to search for them, but they are very, very good. So on the cost terms, you'll see Duolingo is very, very good, and they use gamification, right? A kind of technology so that you learn, but you'll see the difference, the access to, because I don't know too much about Duolingo, that how much interaction do you have with the teacher, right? Like live sessions. But in this they have pretty good, and they are doing really, really well, Lingo, and a lot of students who have gone through them, they are doing very well. So I would suggest that you can try Duolingo, anything, but I have never tried it. I have done my courses from Lingu and also from University of Stavanger back then. So that's the thing. And as I mentioned, if you need a discount code, we always have it on our website. Namaste from Norway. Yeah, but try whatever suits you. Different people have different needs. But one thing is for sure, that if you want to settle in Norway, learning Norwegian opens up a lot of opportunities, right? For example, you can work as a store manager. You can work anything. For everything, they require Norwegian. So and they need people. That's the good thing. Then it is Kundan. I'm waiting for my second year at NTN Norway on scholarship after getting submitted at University of Bologna. Sadly, my visa was rejected after 6 months of waiting, which was disappointing. Yes, this is really Kundan. This is really sad. But why did they reject the visa? Um, I'm not the right person to, but they generally, if you come on a student exchange, they should not. I have not heard of any student whose visa got rejected, and that too after 6 months. That's really really painful. So sorry to hear about that. Then it is Pratham, can I study commerce 12th in Norway? I do not know Norsk International School के बारे में बताओ. So Pratham, I don't think so. It's possible to do that. Uh, if you are not in Norway, then you will not get a visa to study commerce, right? So most easy is to come for PhD and masters. Even for bachelors, a lot of students are coming for this one particular college, which is called as BI International College. But over there also the courses are related to management. So I don't think so. It's going to be very useful. And it is Ashwini G. Okay, Ashwini Ji. Sorry, I there are too many now. Just give me a Rishabh Ji. Yes, Ashwini. Hi, Arvind. We are planning to relocate to Norway. My daughter is in second standard. Will she be able to adjust in Norwegian school? Will she get any extra classes? Yes, Ashwini. It is very, very easy for kids. So I think your daughter is around 7 and 8 years. So she's of the same age as my daughter. So she will easily, I would say, I know a lot of people because this is a very tender age and she will learn. And these guys are very good at providing support. Yeah. So I don't know whether she will get an extra class because I don't think so. She need that, but there will be some students who will in her class who will talk in English because, like, I've also talked in English and they are taught English as well. But yes, she will get a special attention from the teachers in Norsk. That I am sure of. And this is up to a parent that if you say that. You can these are your rights and you can ask that you need is it possible that you give a special attention to it, maybe too much give her a little less homework, so they can adjust and they are very very good in this thing because they want the younger generation to you know uh, mix with the culture in a very good way, so they will definitely do that, I'm sure. And I don't think so because second class is a very very I would say very early, and you're I think within 1 or 2 years she will be very fluent in English. I know few people who their kids came in 10th or 11th, when you are not that adaptable, but they also learn there at that level. You get special classes when you are in at that level, but when you are in second class, then she will easily learn. It's very very easy because and they help the kids, and because the kids around, they're very welcoming, so they will talk in English and they will talk in Norwegian, and within a year or two she will be very good, so I'm very sure of this. Then it is called, now I'm applying to university in Germany and Switzerland and I've already received two acceptance, hopeful for a visa this time, and still dream of studying in Norway through an exchange program. Yeah, Kundan, I think if you want to study in Norway as well, I think once you complete your masters, because I know University of Bologna, it's very very good, so you can easily apply for a PhD, in here, and then your dream will be easily fulfilled. So if your visa is rejected for masters, but when you are enrolling for a PhD, then you are an employee of a university, and then the chances of rejecting visa are very very low. So that's my recommendation for you. Okay, ji, which sector is best for job in Norway? So I think this depends what kind of proficiency you have, but I would say in terms of the scarcity of people, they need a lot of people, and in the future also they will need a lot of people in the health sector, right? Because the population of Norway, it's kind of a little bit aging, and the health sector, there is a huge demand. If you know the average age of the males and females, they live for about 80 to 85 years. A lot of them are on pension and they need support, right? So that is one sector where I'm very very sure that there will be a lot of jobs opportunities, right? But in order to work in such a sector, you need a very good Norwegian. So I know a lot of people who are working, for example, in IT companies, but then they got fired and then they learn Norwegian and now they're working in a health sector, because there, first of all, health sector is mostly public, and plus there are no these risks of getting fired. So that is one sector. Besides this, technology, you all know, but then technology is very very vulnerable. There's like these peaks and the valleys that happen all of the time. So when there is a huge demand, then they hire anyone, but when there is a huge layoff, then they fire everyone almost, right? So that is one thing over there. But yes, so my take would be this. And besides this, if you are, for example, a tech, you are good with you have good hands in terms of working. So there are a lot of, if you know that salmon fishing is very very huge over here. Oil and gas is very very huge over here. Now renewable energy sector is coming. So these are some of the sectors. But to work in most of them, again, Norwegian is the key. Okay, so next is which countries like Norway count PhDs work to achieve PR right after PhD? What about masters leading PhD in Norway? How to find them? So I'm not sure about the first part of this, that which countries, but I know Norway. If you're doing a PhD, since you are an employee, so these 3 years they count for your permanent residency. And I don't think so in like US. In the US, it's like your masters can be turned into a PhD. So we don't have that kind of a thing in Norway. We have an integrated masters in NTNU. I know bachelors and masters, but we don't have any, like a formal kind of a setting where if you do a masters, you will be enrolled to a PhD, right? Like in the US. But the point here is, if you are a good student, if you have good connection with your supervisors, you are in the good books, they know you are a hardworking candidate, then getting a PhD is not a problem. Because let me tell you, from the perspective of, because I've been at both ends. I've been a student in masters, then a PhD candidate, and then now I'm towards this side where I want to look for some good students right now at the master's level. Because investing time in a student and finding a good student is really really hard. I know a couple of supervisors who have these failure stories where the students are not working properly, and at the same time I also know some of the supervisors who are very very happy. So there is this knack of finding a good student. And the Norwegian professors and associate professors, if I may say, they need good students. So if you are a good student, you just have to apply to these, and you will get. And I must say that Indian students, most of them, they are very very good. So just keep on studying wherever you are, and a lot of opportunities will come in the future in Norway. And I'll also make a video about this, that there is now a trade agreement, although it doesn't affect directly to the PhDs, but there is a new trade agreement between India and Norway, which means that there will be more businesses. And we are also currently working the current ambassador, so he's like very very active. So right now the cooperation between India and Norway, it is, I would say, at its apex, and a lot of efforts are being taken so that both the countries, they benefit from each other, right? And it is generally, when I have attended few meetings, it's like, okay, Norway has money and India has market, right? And when we say market, we have resources. So both the countries have resources in different ways. They need a lot of people, a lot of talented people, right? And a lot of talented people from here want to migrate to other countries and then come, so both of the countries, they're kind of complementing each other. And in the future, I would say this partnership will go very very strong, that is for sure. So that's a big answer. Tara Rukaji, good to see you, sir. Thank you, Ji Tara Ji. And yes, so you can watch the LLM videos here. We have a whole playlist. Then we have, I saw on LinkedIn that you were teaching machine learning in a university. Did you use ML in your research projects? Willow? Yes. So although I'm a mechanical engineer, Willow, but my application of machine learning is primarily towards mechanical engineering. To be very specific, it's about predictive maintenance. That is, how do you maintain these, for example, wind turbines, your oil and gas platforms, all of this. So I use machine learning, I would say, a lot in my research, and that is my primary contribution these days. And yes, I'm teaching in one of the colleges as well, machine learning, probability and statistics, and then data analysis. These. So it was during my PhD when I transitioned from a pure mechanical to machine learning, and that was, I would say, one of the newness in my PhD project. So then it is Apurva. Good morning, sir. I will be graduating in 2005 from a Tier 1 college in India. I have a BTech degree. How much experience do I need to before I guess job applications? Apurva, I think it's going to be little bit difficult to directly find a job from Norway to India. But yes, if I have to give you a number, 3 to 5 years, 5 years would be very good. But again, apply for masters in Norway after 5 years of experience, and then come to Norway. You're welcome. Then it is. Oh, sorry. Yes. Okay. Ji. Then it is Shamia ji. How is Nurov? I'm planning to do a course from there. I think Nurov, I would say it is okay. It is good because Shailja did one course from there and she was happy, I would say. So it's good. But if you compare it to, for example, BI, then the level is completely different. Yeah. So it depends what course you want to take, right? And to all of our viewers, if you want one-on-one personal session with me at a very so we have you can just write an email and to us, and you will get a reply back from an automatic reply back from us, and then you can just book a direct session with me at a very I think it's 1,000 rupees for one session. So if you want some specific answers, right, where I need to do some research, so you can write, okay, this is this, and a lot of people have done that as well. But here I'm giving more generic replies to all of you, and you can also check our website for some of the queries. Then it is WebHub. I'm already in Norway from 2 years working as a mechanical R&D in MNC, looking for a career. What would you suggest? So WebHub, if you are a mechanical R&D engineer, if you have just done your bachelor's, see in Norway it is very clear. Your salaries are based upon your degree, right? So if you want a significant jump, so either you should get a promotion or you should switch to another company. And the third way is that you increase your level of competence by undergoing masters, right? Because the salary, and there is unions like we have Techna, we have NTL, etc. So if you have joined, and then we have NITO for the bachelors. So if you have joined these, I would say I forgot what it is. If you have joined these, yeah, like Techna, so if you've joined them, so they clearly mention that this is the salary for bachelors, this is the salary for masters. So that is one thing in terms of salary. And another thing is also after you have gained a lot of work experience, for example, 2 to 3 years, and then when you go and pursue a master's in mechanical engineering. By the way, if you are in Oslo region, Oslomet is starting our masters. I think you are late for the next session, but you can apply for the next year because the deadline is 15th April. So for you, it will be free. And there you will see the level of competence, what they teach you. They teach you finite element, they teach you computational fluid dynamics. I myself teach sustainable design manufacturing, right? So then based upon that also you get a lot of jobs because the master thesis which you can do your master thesis on your own or with the industry. So that is, I would say, a definite advancement in a career. And if you like research, then after masters you can go for PhD, and after PhD you can do a postdoc, you can become associate professor, right? So I, based upon my personal view, I recommend everyone to do a PhD. I mean, if you can do that, if you have the liking and urge for that, because it opens up a lot of channels for you, right? Or go towards the management side, do some particular certifications. For example, if you are a project engineer, then do PMI, Project Management Institute. There are a lot of project management certifications. If you are a SAP consultant, do some certifications, right? If you are a welder, do a certification from IWE. So all of that. So keep on adding, keep on pursuing something which will accelerate your career. But doing the same job in the same manner, it won't yield the different results. So that is good. Okay, I have tried Duolingo and it is worth. So you get your answer, sir. But my dad, Pratham ji. Okay, so that is good if he's in Norway. But Pratham, I forgot your question. What it was? Then it is Rishabh. Hi, I'm working in Estonia. Could you please talk a little about job market in Norway in IT sector? Yeah, and what's the average income there? Okay, so Rishabh, IT sector here, I would say that what has happened over the past 4 or 5 years is that companies such as TCS, Infosys, so most of these big, uh, you know, contracts for IT, they are now going to these companies like TCS, Infi, etc. So a lot of people are coming from India, which is good. And the local job market, I have heard from 2 and 3 students that now they are looking for not just the technical thing, but they are also looking for the Norwegian. A lot of people have told me that, and this is very new for me, because what I thought that if you're working in a technical field, then Norwegian is not that much required. But now this is some of the clause that they are putting, that you should also know Norwegian. But after 5 years of experience, I would say a salary of around 70,000 euros would be a good enough salary. 70 to 75,000 euros, that would be a good enough salary. But then expenses and taxes. So, I mean, I don't know what is the inflation index in Estonia. So you won't save too much, right? So that's the good. But yes, if the working life in Estonia is a little bit harder, then you are welcome to this country. Sir, PhD in microbiology, sorry, microbiology is good in Norway. Yes, I think it is good. It's very good. So if you get an opportunity, just go for it. Then okay, you can do your Norwegian courses. So here is the link which my team has been putting on. So here you can see. So you get a 15% discount. So you just go over there and you get a 15% discount. And this is a huge discount for the lingo. Then okay, G. Then where are we? Lots of questions. Very good. Okay, then it is Mandeep. I'm doing masters in environmental engineering. Okay, so that's very good. After masters, I'm looking for PhD. Could you please advise about potential unis that have a better program and acceptance rate? So, see, Mandeep, for PhD, what you have to do is don't worry too much about a university, right? Just apply. For example, there are 10 public universities, and Job Norge, for everyone I'm saying, Job Norge, I mean, in Norway, Norwegian it is job, but in English it is job, JOBBNORGE.no. And you can also watch our video where I have these links how to do a PhD in Norway. So jobnorge.no is a website where you find all of the PhDs, right? So this is one of the websites. So just go over there and you get a good overview where the PhDs are, and just apply for a PhD, in these universities. So that's very good. Something unique, can 12th pass get a decent job? There, I think it's a little bit difficult if you don't have good Norwegian. Then it's very very difficult to get a job over here. And then it is Prakhar. I did my exchange in USN. I'm currently completing my masters in Alto. I'm confused on criteria. I should consider where I look for job in Finland or Norway in tech. I think see, once, if I were you, rather than, don't be constrained by the country, right? Don't be constrained by country, because all of these Scandinavian and Nordic countries, they are almost at a similar level. So just your first criteria should be to get a good job, right? So just apply wherever you can. Make it a routine that every day I'm applying for 10 relevant positions, right? So that you're not burdening the HR over there. And wherever you get a job, just go for it. There's not much of a difference. Thank you, G. That's why I'm here to answer your question. Right now, the Norwegian market is on a conservative site. IT jobs started asking for Norwegian language nowadays, which is yes. So Akash has rightly said, and this is what a lot of people have told me, because I knew a couple of students, and one of the students, he actually gave 20 to 25 interviews, and he said it is very astounding that they are now starting to ask that whether you know Norwegian, but that was not the case 4 to 5 years ago. So I don't know what's happening over there. Yeah. So front end developer course. So Shamia, see, I think definitely Norof. You also have Christiania University College. So try different universities, because in terms of money, you will pay the same. I think so. But yes, Nurofs give you more flexibility for online courses, as far as I know. But Christiania is more, you have to be at campus. So if I have to rate Christiania and Nurof, I would say Christiania is better. And I'm not saying because I also teach over there, but I've seen the standard of the courses at Nurof, because I know, two colleagues from there as well, and Christiania as well. So I would say Christiania is better. So if at the end, if you want to pay the same amount, then why not to try for a different options, right? So see, and be very very careful that which course you are teaching, because sometimes what will happen is one particular course is good in this university or in this college, So you just go for the course. Don't go too much for the reputation. That okay, this is having a very high reputation, right? So both, I think, private sector for education is almost the same. Okay, Akash, for rest of the sectors, Norwegian is must at least A2 level. Very good. Should I do personal projects instead of internship in companies during my masters if I want to do PhD? See, if you want to do PhD, then try. No, not about, it's not about personal projects. So you can definitely do everything. Adds at the end when a professor is hiring a PhD student, he want to see one thing, not one, rather two or three things. One is the independence, the curiosity. You know how curious you are, how hungry you are for the research. Second is your competence in that particular field. Do you have a relevant background, right? And then third is definitely what is your publication record. So getting an industry experience is also very important. So I would not say that you just skip the internship in the industry. Skip that and at the same time do some personal research projects. And it is, if you identify, so the core here is identify one professor, one or two professors in any country, in any college, and just write an email to them that, sir, I'm doing this, and my plan is to do PhD in this particular field, but I want to do some research with you. No one, I would say no to you, because at the end the professor is getting a very curious student who wants to do research, so you will get a good papers with him, and that is how. And if you are good, and I know I can bet on this that professors are very good at identifying this, who is good and who is not, because uh, I've been working in this field now 4 years almost. So I know, I have seen a lot of students, I've supervised a lot of people. So I know who is good, who is bad. And then, he or she will definitely, the professor will tell you that you are really good. You need to do a PhD. He will recommend you, because, sometimes I get emails from my colleagues that, do you know a good student who is working in this field? I have some of the fundings. So that is your way of doing things. Just do hard work and strategize. That's very important. So do both. If I were you, I would do both. Arjun Sharma, I want to move to a lower tax rate country as a freelancer. Are tax rates high in Norway? Yes, Norway is very, very high. Norway is like somewhere between, I would say, 22 to 43%. That is the tax slab, right? So I am almost paying 32 to 33% tax as well. So it is one of the highest, right? But I know countries such as Romania, they have very low taxes. But again, if you are a resident of Romania, so these are some of the countries where you can move. And then, okay, here when my team is saying you can email and you can also become a member. So if you want more personalized sessions. So, Simar Palji, I have also published a paper, but I want to step in industry. I don't have much interest in research area. What would you suggest? Should I consider Germany or Canada? Confused as things in Canada and so I think try Germany. I think right now Germany is doing really well. The way they have changed their laws, so it seems that they are very, very open to people. But be very, very careful. Don't just choose a country and be there. Choose a career. If your career is automotive, then Germany is the place for you, right? If your career is oil and gas, then Norway is the place for you. If your career is wind, offshore wind, then Scotland is the place for you. So try to map that on in which sector do you want to work, and then choose the country. Okay, not just okay, I want to escape from India and go somewhere else. That strategy also works. People jump from one place to another. That is also depending upon where you are. Do you have a family with you, or are you a single guy? The flexibility you have when you are at 22 or 23, just freshly passed out of BTech. You don't have the same flexibility at the age like me, right? So you have to be very, very careful which country. Because I worked in oil and gas, so I chose Norway, because the only option was either Norway or Middle East or Aberdeen. So these are, and people also move to Australia, right? These are the hubs of oil and gas. So depending upon what is your experience, just go for it. For example, in IT, everyone needs an IT engineer, so just go ahead with that. How are tax rates in Norway? So NJ, I have already a video, taxes in Norway, where I've explained how they calculate this, right? So you can watch. But as I mentioned, it varies 22 to 43%. People are also paying 49 if you earn too much. And then there is a wealth tax. So there are the taxes, I would say, they are on a higher side over here. ओके जी, वेरी इन्फॉर्मेटिव, थैंक यू जी, थैंक यू, श्योर श्योर। एचआर रिलेटेड जॉब सोर्सिंग रिलेटेड, प्रतिमा जी प्लीज मुझे बताएं, ऑलरेडी मेरे फ्रेंड को 15 एक्सपीरियंस सेम रिलेटेड जॉब। सो जी देखिए, एचआर रिलेटेड जॉब्स जो है, अगर नॉर्वेजियंस आती है आपको, नॉर्वेजियंस नहीं सॉरी नॉर्वेजियन आती है, बोल बोल के थक गया हूँ। अगर आपको नॉर्वेजियन आती है तो जस्ट गो हेड विद दैट, राइट। तो एचआर जॉब्स मिल जाएगी, हमारे हैं एक दो दोस्त जो एचआर में भी काम करते हैं, यहाँ पे कई से हैं। तो आपको नॉर्वेजियन पढ़नी, लिखनी और समझनी, ये सभी चीज़ों में आपको आनी चाहिए, वर्बल एवरीथिंग, राइट। देन आई थिंक इट्स प्रीटी गुड। अर्जुन शर्मा जी, थैंक यू अर्जुन शर्मा जी फॉर योर कंट्रीब्यूशन। अच्छा, अब हम चलते हैं, लेट्स सेलिब्रेट देयर फर्स्ट सुपर ऑन द लाइव स्ट्रीम। थैंक्स अ लॉट फॉर योर सपोर्ट अर्जुन। IT sector saturated. I'm working in software in Oslo. Many organizations are avoiding Indians because they want diversity in the team. This is sad reality which many has faced. So Akash, thanks for this insight. Yeah, because Indians in IT, so that's kind of a trend everywhere, and they, so they need diversity, and not just in IT. I would say if you go to say process and piping, right? Companies such as Aker Solutions, Able, it's filled with Indians over there as well. But again at the end, so but I have I have a strong feeling that at the end the company runs because of competent people. So if Indian is a competent, irrespective of nationality, you have to hire him, right? At the end, businesses, they need profit, they need to create value, and that value comes from the people who are competent, irrespective of the nationality, right? So this thing can work, for example, for now, but at the end, if they see that they are suffering losses, they are hiring wrong people from different nationality just to celebrate diversity, that's not going to function. That's my personal opinion on that. And so all you have to do is that work hard and keep on applying to the relevant jobs. Can a person, Varun Pathak, can a person with mechanical engineering graduate working in software developer get an IT job in Norway? Yes, definitely. I know one of the students who did that. He did masters in mechanical, then sorry, bachelor's in mechanical, then worked for an IT company in India. Then he did masters in you can say mathematical modeling, and now he got a job in IT. So it can happen. And then yes, so here is the link. My team is doing a wonderful job. Thanks. So you can find PhD positions here. You can watch PhD related videos here. So guys, please do that. Rishabh, Akash, I'm also a dev learning Swift and already decent. Okay, so this is not for me. So sorry. सर प्यार में पड़ गया हूँ। ओके जी, सकिरन जी, पढ़ाई में ध्यान नहीं लग रहा है, डिप्रेशन में जा रहा हूँ, कुछ भी अच्छा नहीं हो रहा है। देखिए सकिरन जी, पहली बात तो ये समझिए कि ये जिस प्रोसेस से आप जा रहे हैं सब इससे गए हैं, हम भी प्यार में पड़े हुए हैं, ऐसा एवरीवन एवरीवन। सो दिस इज, इसको एक तो यू डोंट हैव टू सी इट एज अ यार ये में क्या हो रहा है, राइट। ये सबके साथ हुआ है, बट एक चीज मैं आपको ये बोलूंगा कि वन वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग इज कि ट्राई टू, जब भी बंदा डिप्रेशन में होता है या प्यार में पड़ जाता है, जस्ट गो आउट, जंगल में जाओ, कहीं पे शांत मेडिटेशन करो, ट्राई टू गेट आउट ऑफ दैट लूप, क्योंकि आपको उससे बाहर आना ही होगा। क्योंकि देखिए, यू आर द अल्टीमेट सफरर। इफ इट इज अ वन साइडेड लव, जो दूसरी साइड की पार्टी है उसको तो कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ रहा, राइट। तो आप प्यार में पढ़ पढ़ के यू गो इनटू दैट व्हाट डू यू से दैट स्पाइरल, राइट। और होगा क्या, टाइम बीतता जाएगा, टाइम इज ऑलवेज लीनियर, और हम स्पाइरल उसके अराउंड घूमते रहते हैं। तो टाइम जो चला गया वो कभी वापस नहीं आएगा। फिर एट द एंड होगा क्या, 10-12 साल बाद आपको लगेगा यार मैंने टाइम वेस्ट कर दिया। तो वो नहीं करना है आपने। तो आपको क्या करना है, जाओ आप, चाहे इरिस्पेक्टिव ऑफ योर रिलीजन, कहीं पे भी शांत जगह बैठो एंड जस्ट ट्राई टू थिंक थ्रू व्हाट यू आर डूइंग इन योर लाइफ। बट एट द सेम टाइम इसको ऐसा मानने की बात नहीं कि यार ये मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ, ये सबके साथ होता है, इट हैपेंस टू एवरीवन। एट द एंड ह्यूमंस आर वेरी इमोशनल एंड सो यू हैव टू, इट इज़ अ लर्निंग प्रोसेस। ये लर्निंग प्रोसेस है आपके लिए कि हाउ टू हाउ टू बिकम स्ट्रॉन्ग, और एंड यू विल बिकम स्ट्रॉन्ग। बट वो सेम चीज़ है नहीं कि फोटो देखती रहनी पिछले की, याद, अगर याद में रहोगे तो डिप्रेशन में रहोगे। तो कोई नई पार्टी से मिलो जाके, आई वुड से, और जस्ट गो आउट एंड हैंग आउट विद योर फ्रेंड्स, दैट्स द होल पॉइंट, राइट। तो आप ठीक हो जाओगे, टेंशन नहीं। बट हाँ, साथ ही साथ जितना जल्दी रिबाउंड हो जाए उतना अच्छा है, ताकि आप जो करियर पे फोकस रखें आप अपना, राइट, और समाज के लिए। एक तो आइडिया ये है, दूसरा आइडिया ये है कि जब हम अपनी प्रॉब्लम में फँसे होते हैं ना, तो इफ यू थिंक टू हेल्प अदर्स, कुछ और करो, तो आपको एक सैटिस्फैक्शन मिलेगी, ग्रेटिफिकेशन मिलेगी एंड इट विल हेल्प यू, इट विल गिव यू अ किक, आपको वो मिलेगा। तो समाज सेवा कर लो, कहीं जाके किसी मंदिर में जाओ, कोई भंडारा हो रहा है तो वहाँ पे कर लो, कुछ भी, कि लोगों की चप्पलें चोरी ना करें, कुछ कुछ भी ऐसा कर लो। सो डू समथिंग जो समाज सेवा के लिए आप कर सकते हो, उससे आपको एक किक मिलेगी एंड देन यू विल गेट आउट ऑफ दिस लूप, राइट। बट अगर आप इसी चीज़ में है कि भाई मैं तो फोटो देख लूंगा, हम यहाँ जाते थे, हम ये करते थे, तो फिर आपको टेंशन हो जाएगी। अच्छा जी, तो उर्मिल जी हेलो अराइव्ड, थैंक यू जी। हाय ब्रो, हाउ आर यू, आई एम फ्रॉम पाकिस्तान। जहांगीर जी हेलो ब्रदर। फिर अजय जी मैसेज, मसाज टच बाय योगी, नमस्ते नमस्ते जी। ओके जी, किशन जी, कैन वी ओवरलैप my svenska in Norway? I mean, can we survive in Norway with Swedish? Of course, with Swedish and Danish, you can easily survive. If my career is ID, which EU country is the best chef? I think is the best. तो यार जहाँ आपको, the point here is wherever you are getting a job, just go and apply, right? अभी ये मत सोचो. That is if you तो जहाँ जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटी मिल रही है, गो. सो पीपल हॉप, एज आई मेंशन्ड प्रीवियसली, that somebody from Italy will come to Norway, somebody from Spain. People don't like Norway, they go to Spain, Portugal. So keep on hopping if it permits you. If अगर आपकी एज वैसी है अभी. So I cannot give you one specific thing, क्योंकि मेरे को, to be honest, I don't have a very strong reasons for this. अच्छा, so 4 or 5 minutes more, guys. Guru Prasad ji, sir, I have completed my bachelor's in engineering civil and I want to do masters in construction management. Is there a good job opportunities? Yes, Guru Prasad, I think there are good. Infrastructure is booming in Norway as well. And if you know, when you're doing construction management and at the same time you also learn some digital technology such as BIM, etc. So they need people, and people are doing research also in this as well. So I think so it's good. So you can apply. We have a master's in Oslomet as well, and we have masters in Stavanger. In all of the universities, we have masters in civil and construction management, I think so. So just go out and check them. So something unique. So there, I already said it's a little bit difficult to get a job. प्रथम जी, क्या था आपका? आप एक बार फिर से पूछो। मैंने किसी को इग्नोर नहीं किया भाई, मैंने सबके आंसर दे दिए हैं, आई थिंक सो। आप एक बार फिर से पूछ लो यहाँ पे क्या आंसर है। आप, मेरे को ये याद है कि आपके पापा यहाँ पे है, बट आपने, रुको मैं एक बार, आई जस्ट गो थ्रू इट। अच्छा, कैन आई स्टडी कॉमर्स इन 12th? आई डोंट नो नॉर्थ इंटरनेशनल स्कूल के बारे में बताओ। अच्छा, आपके पापा यहाँ पे हैं, तो आप अगर यहाँ आओगे, राइट, ओके, इफ यू कम हियर, अगर आप यहाँ आओगे तो आप देखो, इंटरनेशनल स्कूल्स जो हैं वो आपको 12th तक होते हैं, उसके बाद यहाँ पे होता है विद्रेगॉन है, राइट, वो कॉलेज से पहले जो आपको प्रिपेयर करते हैं, तो वो इंटरनेशनल दे आर वेरी वेरी लेस, वो बहुत कम है, वो सब नॉर्वेजियन में ही है। तो आपको, अगर आपके पापा यहाँ हैं एंड इफ यू सी योर फ्यूचर है, तो आपको आज नहीं तो कल नॉर्वेजियन पढ़नी ही पढ़नी है, तो भाई अभी से स्टार्ट कर दो, ठीक है। तो 12th के बाद जो है कॉमर्स, वो आई थिंक इंग्लिश में बहुत बहुत कम होगा, इट्स वेरी वेरी डिफिकल्ट, क्योंकि होगा क्या, जो पब्लिक यूनिवर्सिटीज़ हैं या पब्लिक कॉलेजेस हैं, वहाँ आपको फ्री में मिलने को पड़ेगा। अगर आप इंग्लिश वाला करियर चूज़ करते हो ना, तो आपको फिर जैसे कि BI ऐसे-ऐसे कॉलेजों में जाना पड़ेगा, जहाँ पे यू विल हैव टू पे फीस, वो अननेसेसरी आपके पेरेंट्स के ऊपर एक बर्डन पड़ जाएगा। सो द आइडिया इज़ नॉर्वेजियन पढ़ लो, सीख लो इस एज में जितने जल्दी, दोस्तों से, बहुत बंदे हैं जो सीख रहे हैं नॉर्वेजियन, राइट? तो एंड यू विल ईज़िली फ्लाई, क्योंकि इस एज में 12वीं जब आप, यू आर वेरी फ्रेश, सो इट्स ईज़ी। सो ये है आपका आंसर, ठीक है। Should I go for double masters or go for management courses? As I've already done MTech in mechatronics, तभी तो company I reached India, they say you are overqualified. What do you suggest, sir? So, Smirpal ji, see, देखिए, the point is, if you have done your MTech in mechatronics, तो डबल मास्टर्स इन सेम फील्ड, देखिए, अगर मेकाट्रॉनिक्स आपके लिए काम नहीं कर रही है, तो आप मैनेजमेंट का, आई वुड प्रेफर, इफ आई वर यू, आई वुड देन टेक अ मैनेजमेंट रूट, क्योंकि व्हेन यू बिकम अ मैनेजर, यू नीड टू नो, यू नो, आपको एक होलिस्टिक व्यू सबके बारे में, यू शुड नो द होलिस्टिक व्यू, राइट? तो मैनेजमेंट गिव्स यू दैट पावर। सो इन योर केस आई वुड से दैट गो फॉर द मैनेजमेंट कोर्सेज। अच्छा जी, प्रतिमा जी, हाय सर, एमबीए पढ़ाई किए कैसे जॉब मिल सकता है, 15 ईयर एक्सपीरियंस? सो प्रतिमा जी, देखिए, मैनेजमेंट साइड से तो नॉर्वे में इट्स लिटिल बिट डिफिकल्ट। वो अगेन द पॉइंट हियर इज बिकॉज ऑफ द नॉर्वेजियन, क्योंकि कोई भी मैनेजमेंट अगर आप मैनेजर बनते हो यहाँ पे, सो यू हैव टू नो द नॉर्वेजियन लैंग्वेज। तो इट्स लिटिल बिट डिफिकल्ट, बट डिपेंडिंग अपॉन क्या सेक्टर है आपका, यू कैन ट्राई टू डू अ मास्टर्स हियर, आई वुड से सेकंड मास्टर्स, देन तब, और अगर आपको नॉर्वेजियन आती है देन इट वुड बी लिटिल बिट easier. Aniket ji, hi, I was working with Equinor in Stavanger, but it was a short-term on-site from MNC. How can I apply for a job in Norway from India directly? Not able to log into Finn, and also mostly there are Norwegian. Yeah, Aniket, I think it's there. I know a couple of people who have got the jobs directly from India, but those were for very, very specific roles. For example, UX design. But what was your role in Equinor? If it was, say, a geologist, or was it an IT consultant? Because we have a lot of graduates in Norway within these sectors. So for you, again, my idea would be that study in Norway. That is easy. If you have good amount of experience, right? If you're 5, 6, 7, 8 years of experience, take this chance of applying for masters in Norway. And then once you are here, then you will have access to Finn, you will have chance to learn Norwegian, because when you are this is for all of you. If you are a student pursuing masters in Norway, the universities provide the free courses. Most of the universities provide free courses to learn Norwegian, and that is a very unique opportunity to learn Norwegian. So I think that is what I can suggest. Then it is Amit, jeg bor på Krinsjøy, Oslo, men jeg vil møte deg. Hvor bor du? So Amit, I live near the airport, but I work near National Theatre in Oslo. So anytime you are there, just let me know. We can meet over there. Okay, guys, अब मैं थक चुका हूँ. I'm like really tired. So अब मैं I will just क्लोज डाउन. कुछ 5-6 सवाल और लेता हूँ, क्योंकि सबके तो मैं कर नहीं सकता, सॉरी फॉर दैट. और प्लीज़, एक चीज़ है कि आप लोग इंस्टा पे करते हैं, बहुत रिप्लाई करते हैं, बट इट इज़ नॉट फिजिबल टू रिप्लाई, क्योंकि एट द एंड मेरी जो फुल टाइम जॉब है वो कुछ और है, एंड इट इज़ वेरी वेरी कॉम्पैक्ट. बहुत काम होता है वहाँ पे, तो इसीलिए मैं इंस्टा पे बहुत कम रिप्लाई करता हूँ. मैं तो और शैलजा इज ऑल्सो वेरी बिजी, इसीलिए वी हैव सेशंस लाइक दिस, जहाँ पे कि हम आपकी क्वेरी, सो वी वांट टू हेल्प, बट इट बिकम्स आउट ऑफ कंट्रोल. क्योंकि होगा क्या, इफ आई गिव यू एन आंसर, आप एक फॉलो बैक क्वेश्चन करोगे, तो इट गोज टू मच. तो अगर आप में से कोई, जिसको कोई बहुत ही अर्जेंट सवाल है, इट्स वेरी वेरी, जस्ट हैव अ सेशन 30 मिनट्स, 1 घंटे का मेरे साथ, एंड देन आई विल ट्राई टू रिजॉल्व, बिकॉज देन इट इज मच ईजियर टू हैंडल, राइट? Then it is Webber. Jeg har begynner på norsk og masterutdanning fra India. Jeg jobber som utviklingsingeniør i Norge for litt mer over 2 år siden. Jeg ønsker å ha PhD, men kan ikke velge emne i mechanics. Kan du hjelpe meg? So this is purely norsk. तो इनके पास B1 लेवल की नॉर्वेजियन है, मास्टर्स इन्होंने इससे करी है. तो देखिए दोस्त, मैं तो आपको यही हेल्प कर सकता हूँ. फर्स्ट थिंग इज जॉब नॉर्वे, जो मैंने लिंक दिया, उस पर आपको यू हैव टू आइडेंटिफाई कि आपको करना क्या है, राइट? और उसके बाद की गाइडेंस चाहिए, देन आई कैन हेल्प. तो यू कैन कॉन्टैक्ट मी ऑन ईमेल. तो पहले आप यू फाइंड दैट जॉब PhD फॉर योर सेल्फ, कौन से सेक्टर में है, ठीक है? देन आई कैन help you. Great work. Thank you, Ji. Thank you. Then it is, what is Shailja's job? So Shailja is working from home most of the time. I completed my master's in international from Warsaw. How much is the scope? PhD in management. Shivam, I think PhD in management का अच्छा scope है. There are Oslo School of Business. There are a lot of colleges and universities which provide you this. For Komardule wiki of the, and the reason is because again life is very very busy. It's Saturday Sunday, because from Monday to Friday I'm in front of laptop. So Saturday Sunday I want to be more with the family, so that's why. So primarily maybe once a month we will try to come, but thanks that you guys want us to come live, and we will try to make videos as much as we can. ओके जी, बहुत हो गया. मुझे रिस्पॉन्ड नहीं किया क्रिस जॉन भाई, क्या नहीं किया आपको रिस्पॉन्ड? भाई मैंने सबको रिस्पॉन्ड ट्राई किया है. आई एम सो सॉरी, बट थैंक यू, आज के लिए इतना ही। तक फॉर तिल बाकी मिल्डिंग, ठीक है जी। ठीक है दोस्तों, सो आई नीड टू गो, इट्स 12:05, अभी ब्रेकफास्ट भी नहीं किया। सो आई गो, बट जिनके मैं नहीं कर पाया आंसर्स, सो सॉरी फॉर दैट। आई विल ट्राई टू कम लाइव again in a month, and we will try to make one videos. अगले जो कुछ videos है, I can just tell you, they will be, for example, compare Sweden to Norway, एक वो वाला वीडियो डालेंगे हम। एक हम इंडिया एंड नॉर्वे का जो अभी पैक्ट साइन हुआ है उसके ऊपर बनाएंगे। सो सम इन्फॉर्मेटिव वीडियोस विल कम। और फिर कुछ डिमांड्स हमारी बेटी की भी होती है तो कुछ उनके वीडियोस होंगे। तो थैंक्स अ लॉट, एंड कहीं पे भी आप ऑस्लो में, नॉर्वे में हमें देखें तो प्लीज टॉक टू अस, वी रियली लाइक इट। ठीक है, तो और मैं तो कभी इग्नोर नहीं मारता किसी को, और आपसे भी उम्मीद है कि आप भी इग्नोर ना मारें। ठीक है, सो थैंक्स, लव फ्रॉम आवर साइड, एंड एंजॉय इफ यू आर इन नॉर्वे, इट्स अ वेरी सनी वेदर टुडे, सो एंजॉय। और थैंक यू, नमस्ते फ्रॉम नॉर्वे, टेक केयर, बाय बाय।